Hi, my name is Heather Mackey. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine. Today we are talking about digesting death. Yum! Mmm! I know I'm not talking about whether you choose to be a meat eater or a vegan. You can do whatever you like with a hologram. I have no attachment to what you do with emptiness. I am talking about digesting the experience called death. And by digestion, I mean taking in and absorbing the nutrients and that which serves the self in the given experience and releasing the waste or falsehood or lack of truth that does not serve, and just really absorbing the truth, the understanding, the knowing when it comes to the topic of death. Digesting death like our beautiful raptors do, like sacred snowy owl and eagle and hawk and peregrine falcon and turkey vulture and kestrel, like all of our beloved feathered brethren, death eaters, our spirit messengers that eat on death. we are going to talk about taking in this experience, not avoiding it. There are some cultures, and I think probably most cultures, do a good job of acknowledging death and grief, and there are many beautiful ceremonies, and globally there can be a lot of really beautiful consciousness around this. It is my experience as a Westerner that here in the West, we do not do a great job of digesting the experience called death. We're not talking about with our children, here's how you grieve, you know what I mean? Hopefully, if they have a pet that dies, you do that in your home. But it is fascinating to me that it is not, there are no classes. I mean, and I think we're evolving towards that, but where is the class on compassion, on breathing and centering the self? Where's the class on how to grieve and marinating on what death means for you? It feels like we could really use that, and I say this because we see fires, Australia, California. We see so many natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes. We see deaths from COVID. We see the slaughtering of innocents, the abuse of Native women's bodies, and the murder of them, as well as our African American brethren. And we see death coming for us like a freight train, and we see so many different types of trains that arrive. Murder, suicide, natural disaster, global pandemic, whatever. Just died in your sleep, whatever. Everyone will exit the flesh costume. You're going to exit it. And in a way, it's the only known. You make plans and watch God laugh. Make a plan and watch life, watch spirit, watch energy deliver something that is an exact match to your belief matrix, which is often not the plan you're making. You're making plans that are divergent from what you're believing, and what you're believing is always what's showing up. So it is, the one known is that you're going to exit your flesh costume. And if you haven't had a lot of experience with that, you still know it's coming. You still know everything that is alive will exit the costume that they inhabit. And what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? What happens when you die? I've spent my entire life meditating on this. My dad drowned when I was 17 months old. When I was somewhere between the age of 3 and 5, my Nana, my great Sicilian great-grandmother that I dearly loved, just adored, died. I got to see her dead in the casket. I have been burying bodies in flesh costumes since I was very little, and I have continued to do it every year I've been alive. Just marry stuff. That's what I do. So to come to look at that question and try to understand it, I have gone to what I consider to be a knower. I'm a deeply spiritual and scientific person, but it is not spirituality or religion, and it is not science that can answer that question for me. You know, the scientists are like, they're flatline dead, and scientifically they're dead, but oh, maybe there's some wiring and firing in the brain that caused the consciousness to exist beyond the time that we labeled them as flatline, but there's nothing extra there. Like that's the scientific perspective on it. Weird. It's weird that they can come back and describe everything the doctor said verbatim and the tools they used when they were dead, but whatever, we're just going to ignore that part and just say probably some electrical impulses. And the religions and the spirituality, would say there's spirit and soul, but often even those components of understanding don't even operate from what they believe. Many spiritual and religious people walk in the daily terrified of their death. They're not walking as if they are an eternal spirit walking around in a flesh costume that's similar to an outfit that they can change. So for me, I've gone to those that have died, the near-death experiencers, NDEs they call it, and I've read a ton of books about NDEs. To me, they are the knowers. I want somebody who's spent 1,000 hours swimming to teach me to swim, right? Not somebody that has theories on it. Let's talk to the person that's done it. So the consistent thing that you will find when you study all the many, many authors on near-death experiences, which I've not read all, I've read many, is that death is not finality. And Richard Bach, author of Illusions, this is a beautiful little version of a component of Illusions called The Messiah's Handbook. It's part of the information inside of the book Illusions by Richard Bach. Says it much more beautifully and succinctly than I. I'll share it with you. That which most concerns and worries you, your survival, is the only certainty you have. That's it. It's the only certainty you have. Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. We can say it scientifically or spiritually if you want. We can speak into either of those theoretical paradigms. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, scientific fact. You are made of energy, scientific fact. Therefore, you cannot be created nor destroyed. You are eternal. There's an eternality to energy. You are made of energy. There's an eternality to you. These are the facts. I'm just sharing facts here. From a spiritual standpoint, everything is comprised of spirit. In China, they might call it qi. In the native tradition, you can call it spirit. In the pagan tradition, it can be divine consciousness or so. From the spiritual side, if we want to speak to it from that component, same. Spirit is imbued in the entire web of life. You cannot add to it or take away from it. The distinction between the very scientific viewpoint and the very spiritual viewpoint is the spirit speakers and studiers agree that energy has intelligence and that intelligence is beyond my little ego and my little body. So when I watch life die, since I was a child, as I've watched life die, and as I've watched hearts ache at COVID, at fires, at tragedies and travesties of that which causes us to digest the experience of death, I've come to the conclusion in my own studies that we are eternal. And the question then becomes, what are you doing with your eternality? The question is not YOLO, energy only lives once. It's not YOLO, so live a great life. It is, You are eternal. Energy will always be, the energy that comprises your essence is always going to be here. What are you doing with the energy you are gifted with? What are you doing? How are you offering your energy? How are you speaking to your energy that is eternal? How are you talking to it? Are you, oh, nice. Hey, energy, looking good, feeling good today. Energy, I like your vibrancy. Energy, I love you. Energy, what a gift you are to the world. Woo, what a spirited gift you are. How are you speaking to your eternal energy, and how are you sharing your eternal energy with the all that is, with the rest of itself, called more energy? Same. What are you doing with it? I really think there's tremendous value in connecting with death as a teacher. I've always said Hades is my husband. He's held my hand since I got here, and my whole life I've been like, let go of my hand. I do not want to bury one more thing. I'm like, I'm so tired of burying. This is what you should have made me a freaking undertaker. Like, why even have me bother doing anything else? This is what you're going to have me do my whole life. And in a way I have been, and now I grab Hades' beautiful hand a little tighter and a little more gratefully. Because if you believe the drama, if you get invested in the drama that your ego will tell you about the out-picturing of digesting the death experience called energy changed form and exited flesh costume, and is now 100% still there doing something else, the digestion of that drama can cause great anxiety and fear and worry. I've spent a lot of my life just like praying. I've also known so many that have lost, and just praying for them and with them in their hours. And in my own, like, every year, burying sometimes multiple people per year, I'm in there, pray, please help them get through this. And over time, I just kind of, you almost wonder what to pray for, because it's like, I don't know if they need to exit. I do know they're eternal. And I do know there's no threat, and I know it looks and feels like there's a threat right now. So, really, really, really good time, if we're going to look at time, the time to consider death is now. Right now is a really good time. Right now is actually the only place you ever are. But right now is a precious time to consider what it means to you, and to marinate on that. Because in my youth, as a deeply sensitive and psychic being, it was painful without understanding for me to witness concepts like meningitis that killed my best friend, or concepts like natural occurrences like car accidents or drownings that killed my parents. Or it was very painful to experience those things. And now, in the golden age of 2020, where we are given globally the opportunity to look at death, I will invite us all to do that. Let's digest it for a minute. Let's take what serves from it and release the waste of it. The waste, to me, is to not be invested in the drama of you can be destroyed. The nutrients of our death teacher is about your eternality. It is your eternality. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed is actually one of the few certainties you have. So the question is, what are you doing with your eternality today? What are you doing with your eternality? Some people want to spend a long time evolving, but you can do it in this life. You can evolve very rapidly by choosing to focus on loving the all, which is a unified field of energy bouncing around in emptiness. May you love yourself. May you love your brethren. May you love death. May you make peace with it. Blessed be.